Scotland awoke this week not to celebration, but to a brewing political storm, one far more disturbing than the triumphant headlines suggest. The Labour Party's razor-thin victory in the Hamilton by-election was hailed by the mainstream media as a turning point, a moment of rebirth for a party long out of favour north of the border. With grins stretching from ear to ear, Labour leader Anna Anasawa addressed the cameras with jubilant flair. Newly elected MP Davy Russell declared the result a triumph for listening to the people. Did you know that over 95% of our viewers aren't subscribed to the channel? We totally get it, life gets busy, and sometimes it's easy to forget. But here's the thing, subscribing is completely free, and it really helps us keep creating the content you enjoy. So, why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? It only takes a second, but it makes a world of difference to us. Thank you for your support. Yet beneath the surface of this apparent democratic renewal lies a narrative the public has not been told, one that may yet prove devastating to both the Labour Party and the legitimacy of the Scottish electoral system. While most headlines framed the Hamilton result as a heroic underdog victory, a 602-vote win snatched from the jaws of electoral defeat, defying pollsters and bookies alike, new and deeply troubling evidence has emerged that paints a very different picture. And it has triggered shockwaves not only within the Scottish political establishment but, astonishingly, at the very highest levels of the British state. In a development that has left constitutional scholars stunned, sources close to the royal household have revealed that King Charles III has privately refused to formally acknowledge the result of the Hamilton by-election. The reason? Concerns, credible and well substantiated, over significant voting irregularities and possible electoral fraud. This is no ordinary political dispute. The monarch, whose constitutional role requires near total silence on political matters, has now reportedly taken the extraordinary step of withholding Crown recognition of the result pending further investigation. This quiet intervention from Buckingham Palace suggests not only alarm, but a potential constitutional crisis in the making, one being almost entirely ignored by the country's most prominent media outlets. Let us be absolutely clear, when the Crown takes an active stance in a parliamentary matter, the implications are seismic. Whistleblowers in South Lanarkshire have reportedly raised multiple red flags in relation to the vote count. According to these sources, serious discrepancies emerged on the night of the election. Postal ballots failed to align with registration data. Some ballots were traced to addresses where no residents were officially recorded. And, most alarmingly, there was a sudden and statistically improbable spike in last-minute absentee ballots, nearly all of which favoured Labour. Electoral irregularities of this nature are concerning under any circumstances. But the situation worsened when, according to leaked documents, election monitors attempted to flag these anomalies in real time, only to have their concerns suppressed. An internal memorandum, allegedly written by observers within the counting team, raised the possibility that the software used to tally the results may have been compromised. The memo, now circulating quietly among legal and parliamentary insiders, hints at digital tampering, an accusation that, if confirmed, would devastate public trust in the entire electoral process. Within hours of the count concluding, a coalition of electoral watchdogs submitted a formal legal complaint to the Crown Office. Their demand, a comprehensive investigation into the conduct of the election, a forensic audit of the voting system, and a full recount under judicial supervision. Meanwhile, while Labour figures basked in the glow of a narrow win, the true gravity of the situation was being discussed behind closed doors at the palace. Royal advisers, according to sources with knowledge of the matter, urgently briefed King Charles on the developing crisis. The monarch, whose role includes safeguarding the constitutional order of the United Kingdom, is said to have taken the allegations seriously, serious enough to delay royal assent for the recognition of Russell's seat in Westminster and to suspend any formal honours or ceremonial acknowledgements related to the Hamilton outcome. In essence, what the Labour Party hailed as the foundation of a Scottish resurgence has now been quietly, but firmly, placed under constitutional review by the head of state. And you will not hear this from the BBC. Nor from The Guardian, nor STV. These mainstream platforms continue to push the narrative of a Labour comeback, either unaware of, or willfully ignoring, the alarm bells now ringing across the corridors of power. So what does this all mean for Labour? For Scotland? For the United Kingdom? It means that Labour's long-awaited return to electoral relevance may be built not on a foundation of public support, but on allegations of misconduct and manipulation. It means that Anas Sarwar's self-styled role as Scotland's political saviour is already being called into question. And it means that the legitimacy of the vote, the bedrock of democratic governance, is now under national scrutiny. The political implications are immense. For years, Labour has positioned itself as the party of moral clarity, transparency, and institutional integrity. Yet now, the party stands accused of benefiting from a result so dubious that even the monarch refuses to rubber stamp it. The hypocrisy is staggering. Anas Sarwar's rhetoric in the days leading up to the vote now appears even more galling. She dismissed the SNP as intellectually bankrupt, mocked John Swinney's campaign as shameful, and wrote off Reform UK as a fear-mongering distraction. She styled Labour as the only credible and ethical force in Scottish politics. Yet here we are, with Labour itself facing potentially the most serious electoral scandal in decades. And where is the outrage? Where are the media firestorms that would have erupted if the SNP had been accused of such conduct? Where are the watchdogs, the editorial boards, the journalists who claim to champion democracy and accountability? Their silence is deafening. The timing of this by-election must also be acknowledged. It followed the death of MSP Christine McKee, a moment of solemnity and loss, transformed by Labour into an aggressive political manoeuvre. Labour did not run a policy-driven campaign. They made no serious attempt to win on substance. Instead, they campaigned on anti-SNP sentiment, vilifying opponents and stoking fears about Nigel Farage. Even with that, they scraped through by only 602 votes, barely a statistical hiccup. This is not a mandate. This is not a movement. It is a result balanced on a knife's edge, and now mired in scandal. We want to be clear. At Britain Info, we do not peddle falsehoods or engage in speculation for the sake of clicks. Our sole aim is to present verified, truth-based reporting that holds power to account, even when others look away. If you found this report useful, informative, or even disturbing, we encourage you to like the video, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the Alert View channel for future updates. Because when the Crown itself is forced to step into the political arena, this is no longer about partisan victories. It is about the very integrity of British democracy.